Yo, what's that word? 12 Inning Podcast, episode 85. Big 85. How you doing tonight, my boy?
Good, a little under the weather, but we finna make it work.
As always. Begin every podcast like we do. We're gonna be started off with the Reddit warm-up for the night. Y'all give me 1 second. Nah, we ain't asking that. It was too crazy. Y'all give me 1 second. If y'all hear my son crying, that's just him. Nah, I ain't gonna ask that either. That's crazy as fuck. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me just ask this question. Not to hold the people hostage for too long. So, hey, I'm a big fan of Pop the Balloon and Fine Love. They just did a reunion, and there was a dude on there. He owned a medical practice, and another dude, he just had bread. We don't know where it came from. So, how do you feel, and how do y'all feel, audience-wise, about how a person gets their money? Would you rather do it legit, patient way, or the fast, maybe not so legal way in order to get to a certain place?
I'm cool with people that do both.
Right.
I'm friends with people that have done it both ways. Don't really make a difference to me.
Right.
Cause I
Right.
told you before, I really stick to myself. Whatever works for you is whatever works for you. Just know you're doing it the illegal way. You get caught. I always say it. You better be ready to do that time. I'm gonna say PG version. Tattletale to get less time. But I don't know. I'm just kind of more. I believe in if you know what you're doing, you're an adult, so kind of just take it on the head. Either way, it doesn't really bother me. Like I know me personally.
Your audio a little muffled, family.
Hold on. That's better.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've dibbled and dabbled in both ways. So, like I said, it is whatever works for you.
Yeah, I got homies who I was, I'm gonna say in case the wrong people watching, who do it both ways, family members, me personally, I ain't trying to get locked up. So, I didn't try to I tried to do multiple things. I put it like that. I've had success in multiple things, but at this point, you know what I'm saying? Niggas getting to the point where they touching 30. I ain't trying to get locked up. Nigga got, responsibilities that they got to be here for. So, I'm just trying to grind and do things. I'm trying, 3012 Inning Podcast and a couple other things, trying to get that to the point where, that's bringing in income, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Let us know in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Don't put y'all names and stuff like that. Just, but speak y'all minds and stuff like that about the topics and subject. But
Everything the legal way now.
For sure. For
Man,
sure.
straight as a pencil.
Facts. So with that, moving on to our first topic of the night. Let's get into Jimmy Butler getting suspended. Jimmy Butler got suspended indefinitely by the Heat for another epic Jimmy moment. We didn't get to see or hear an interview about this one. Maybe it come in the future, but how you feel about the recent antics and suspension by Mr. Butler?
I'm kind of tired of hearing about the situation at this point because it seemed like dude just trying to get suspended on purpose. He's a jokester. I don't know if some of y'all seen that video of him trying to make it seem like his card declined at the coffee shop. But I'm honestly tired of it. I think it's kind of starting to rub other NBA teams the wrong way. As the Warriors trade for him, kind of questioning how he's going to fit into the system now. Especially, I've seen that Steph Curry and Steve Kerr with the
Your audio start missing.
Is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Steph Curry, Steph Curry and Steve Kerr questioning it, it's starting to take a toll. I think it's starting to take a toll on his teammates. He's trying to say he has nothing against his teammates, but he's making it harder for them too, as well as he's supposed to be one of the best players on their team. He doesn't want to be there. He's not performing for them. So he's supposed to, NBA is like a brotherhood. He's supposed to be a brother to them. I feel like he's kind of letting them down, hard situations. But it's also starting to say a lot about Pat Riley too. I know he's the owner and stuff, but you can kind of see that it's either his way or the highway with everything. So I think players start questioning that too. Because I was seeing stuff about like how he was even this type of way with LeBron and stuff when LeBron was in Miami. So it's just a lot of stuff. Like my mom and my grandma always say, you know what, stuff in the dark always gonna come to light. So it's a lot of stuff starting to come into light now.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Honestly, I can see it from both sides of the coin because this has fully let me know that Jimmy is all about that bread. Like, he likes winning. Don't get it wrong, but when every situation that he's came up where he was wanting to leave, it's been about money. Like, whether that was Chicago, Minnesota, Philly, it's always been about the money. He's had success, and I get a guy being about his chicken, especially somebody with the backstory that you hear about from Jimmy Butler. I get why somebody would be about their bread for sure, but on the flip side of that, I also think it's a philosophical shift with how much control front offices have, and I think this players are truly dominant. And the last real stronghold of that was probably Miami and San Antonio, to where the front office still had seemingly the most control over their players and situations. Now it's even reaching their doors, and you got the ultimate guy that's willing to show you what reality is in Jimmy Butler. At the end of the day, you know, it's been said that he doesn't feel like they put enough pieces around him to help him get to the promised land, which I agree with. You know, their big acquisitions have been Josh Richardson and late first round picks and things of that nature. So they haven't done right by him with him giving them 2 finals appearances since he's been there, which if you look at their roster, that's not supposed to happen, to be quite honest with you. So I agree with that assessment. He doesn't feel like they're doing enough to make them win. And the ultimate commitment, and I'm not going to make this too long, but the ultimate commitment by a player is he wants to know that I'm going to be a part of the future. If my contract is up this summer and y'all haven't given me an extension, y'all are showing hesitance about me being part of that future. So instead of being hesitant about it, I'm just going to enact what I can to not be a part of this situation, because either I'm gonna stay, and y'all gonna sign me, and what y'all have shown me was y'all not gonna put the right pieces behind me, or I can be in a situation where I can control my own destiny. And ultimately, that's what a lot of players are choosing to do. So I'm not exactly mad at them. I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I've seen, we've been through this before, but it's not surprising on either end. But I get what you're saying about being tired of it too. It's kind of old, and hopefully get out of there at this point, to be honest, for both parties. Sticking to the NBA before we jump back on there a little bit later with the De'Aaron Fox and maybe some other trade scenarios. How you feel about what happened with D Fox, with the Kings reported being open to trading him and listening to offers at this point?
I kind of think it's just one of them things where it's kind of like a relationship where you kind of just grow tired of the other person. I think that's for like kind of both situations. Darren, he's still having a good season. He ain't having the season he was having last year. And you can tell in kind of like his recent games and everything. I don't think he's really trying to score the ball like that. I don't think I really see him playing with that enthusiasm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how this happened or why it happened. When they got DeMar DeRozan, I thought they were going to be in a pretty good
Right.
spot to make a run
Yeah.
kind of towards the playoff, or not towards the playoffs, towards getting somewhere near the NBA title. And it just hasn't panned out like that for them. I know since they fired Mike Brown, they've gone on a big win streak.
Yeah.
But what I think I'm noticing, I don't know how old Sabonis is. Let me check
I
really
think it's
quick.
29, something like that. Maybe
So
29.
he's still, he's in his prime. He has his prime years.
Yeah.
He's 28. So yeah, he still has he's just now getting to his prime. And I think they want to build around him now, seeing what he
Mm-hmm.
can do. He's one of the best bigs in the league at this point.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just, while De'Aaron Fox is a hot commodity, while he's still young, see what they can get for him, because I know they can get a good haul, whether it be a whole bunch of picks or young talent to come and kind of help build around Sabonis. And
Yeah.
and Malik Monk as well. With the emergence of him in the starting lineup, he's been playing well.
I like that forward that they got too. Picked him up in the draft a couple years ago.
Murray.
Yeah, Murray.
But yeah, Murray, DeRozan, Sabonis, and then Malik Monk, that's a solid four right there.
Yeah.
I feel like they could do away with De'Aaron Fox and still, have that chance to compete with those guys right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially Malik Monk's been balling his ass off.
Yeah.
He's become that primary ball handler for them and someone they can rely on to score and facilitate each and
Yeah.
every night.
Honestly, I'm surprised, man. It seemed like De'Aaron really liked being there. I think some sour between him and the ownership group in the past year, and that's unfortunate. Honestly, the preferred destination has been talked about as being the San Antonio Spurs. I think him and Wemby will make an elite pair. But if I was the Kings, I don't know if I'd be willing to do that just because, unless the Spurs are willing to give up Castle, Vassell, and send me some first round picks, like I would try to get a Kings ransom for them because if they get De'Aaron Fox, they're gonna be good. So them picks might be towards the end of the back half of the first round. They got other young talent that the Spurs had they're going to build around. They still got a lot of first round picks to go get young talent to build around Wemby or make subsequent trades to get more talent for that pair that they might create. So I'd be asking for a King's ransom. If it's not the Spurs, then I would want another established player at his position, or at least a young player, I would say, that we can keep going and building around Sabonis, DeRozan, and Murray and things of that nature. And like you said, it also opens up shots from those other guys. It does confuse me why they would have fired Mike Brown at this point if they were going to trade Fox anyways, because they said it was a little bit of friction there, even though Fox has disputed that. But, at the end of the day, the Kings have been winning lately. And now at this point, since they've been winning, we know it can't be about winning. They've been winning. It can't be about winning. It just has to be that Fox seemingly doesn't want to be there no more, unfortunately.
You could tell he's taken a step back from
Yeah.
how he's been how he was performing earlier in the year and last year.
He basically playing not to get hurt so he can get traded at this point. And that's crazy.
Butler should have been doing. So what Jimmy Butler was doing,
Facts.
what Jimmy Butler was doing it worse.
Facts.
Man was chucking up 1-foot threes.
Yeah, bro was sabotaging for sure. Um, Moving on, we can do a little NFL recap with the conference championship games, man. First game, well, it'd probably be more to say about that game. So first thing we'll talk about is the obliteration that the Eagles put on the Redskins, man. How you felt about that game, watching it, and reaction to it?
I want to say I'm surprised because I picked the Commanders to win, but I knew what hill they was going to have to climb for it to actually come to fruition. Excuse me, but I mean, it's not like the Commanders played bad, but I think there was too many little mistakes that they made, or just trying to be too aggressive and
Your
everything.
audio a little low again, brother.
That's better.
Yeah,
Still good.
yeah,
But no, I just think the Eagles was just kind of too much, kind of too overpowering. You got Saquon, I think, out the gate, first play on the Eagles drive to the house. That's kind of
yeah,
demoralizing right there.
yeah,
Saquon had a Saquon game.
yeah.
It's honestly what we expect from him. If he doesn't do it in the Super Bowl, I'd be surprised.
Yeah,
Just, with that O line. And it's starting to show us, too, what Saquon was saying before that, he really is one of the best playmakers in the league.
hmm,
He's probably the best offensive weapon in the league,
yeah,
hands down.
yeah,
And it's starting to show as he's able to get to the second level untouched, and he's making all these defenders start to miss.
yeah,
So with that being said, also AJ Brown, he finally had kind of a wake up game, and then it's hard to beat a team that doesn't turn the ball over and they're just scoring points. I think the Commanders turned the ball over like once or twice, something
hmm,
like that. So it's also hard to play from behind, especially against a team like the Eagles, which is one of the juggernauts in the league. So I'm not surprised by the outcome. More just sad because I wanted to see somebody from my hometown in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure the Commanders, they're only going to build from this.
yeah. Obviously, like I said, an obliteration, a real big blowout. Quite frankly, quite embarrassing to be honest. I picked the Eagles to win. I thought it'd be a little closer than this, obviously. Like I said last podcast, y'all go check that out, episode 84. Saquon, the best offensive weapon in the league. That this did nothing to hinder that thought process. I know they got an elite offensive line, the Philadelphia Eagles, and a staunch defense where they need to. And I also think massive amount of apologies need to go out to Nick Sirianni. There were even whispers about getting rid of that boy at certain points in the past 2 years. I thought it was ridiculous then. I think obviously nobody's going to be saying that now. I think the Washington Commanders, they got a chance to come back and build from this. They did have a lot of veterans on that team. I'm interested to see where they go from here with that. But I do think they have a chance to, get back here if they do the right things, because now it's not going to be as much as a surprise to teams next year. Not to say it was all about surprise, but now we have a lot of film on you and what Cliff Kingsbury wants to do with you, who's still there, surprisingly, as the OC after not getting hired as a head coach. But the Eagles, if you just look at what good organizations are supposed to do, they do it consistently. They nail in a draft every single year. Pretty sure they'll probably do it again this year. Get somebody like Walter Nolan in the first round or something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm excited. I said last week that the Eagles were my Super Bowl pick since the Lions got knocked out. And I'm a ride with that. Of course, we're going to have Super Bowl content coming for y'all next week. Got a few things planned for that. But, yeah, for sure. So how you felt about that other game, a lot closer game between the Chiefs and the Bills, my boy?
I'm gonna be real with you. That game went exactly how probably 85% of America is gonna go. You know, close game down to the end. Bills have a chance to either tie the game or win it, and nothing comes of it. You know, that's just typical AFC Championship game that the Chiefs have been playing in. I mean, out of the past 10 AFC Championships, the Chiefs have been in 5 of them and lost one time. So I know, like I told you, team's gonna have to put up 30-something points to beat the Bills. That's what the Chiefs did. Once again, let me just go through the stats again. Patrick Mahomes had a better game throwing the ball, but they ran the ball pretty good as well. And it was like the guy you said pretty much. The big impact to me was Xavier Worthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Travis Kelce ain't worth a fuck thing right now. And that's just me being real. You know, I don't get it with this man, bro. I don't know how you could digress so much. But once again, the Chiefs defense prevails because, I will say time after time again, whenever the Chiefs needs their defense to step up, they step up no matter what. I didn't really watch the game like that. Tired of seeing the Chiefs to know how the calls went or anything. So I don't know if there was any bad calls or anything.
Your audio going out again.
But yeah, is it better?
Yeah.
It might be my Wi-Fi has been tripping, so it might just be skipping out or something.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it was a pretty even match game, if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Which I felt like could have went either way, but obviously 9 times out of 10 it's going to go the Chiefs' way because that's the NFL's team. That's America's team, obviously. I guess that's the referees' team. That's who the books want to win. Patrick Mahomes, one of the most loved men in America. Freaking this dude dating Taylor Swift, so obviously they know Taylor Swift's going to be at the game. So they want. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that point towards the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm tired of it. So
I feel you. I feel like the game played out again how it was supposed to. Well, I guess you can say how it was supposed to for real, but I guess it played out in a special type of way. Ultimately, didn't Josh Allen do got some talent on the offense side of the ball. Amari Cooper was a good trade for them. When it came down to it, though, I think that we saw something that we haven't often seen from Josh Allen. I know he's been getting killed for that last play where dude dropped the ball. I think it was Dalton Kincaid dropped the ball. Josh Allen was getting killed because apparently he didn't make the correct blitz pickup and things of that nature. I thought that was interesting. First can get the people. I think him, Mahomes, it was a good duel. But ultimately, I think Steve Spagnuolo is the best DC in football. Don't understand why he ain't getting no interviews and things of that nature. And if he is requesting interviews, maybe he's just waiting for the right opportunity. But I think he's the best DC in football, and that Chiefs defense have been dominant for at least the past 2, I really want to say 3 years. They've been one of the better defenses in the NFL. They got talent. They've been investing a lot of their first round picks and their early round draft picks on that side of the football and getting veterans that know how to play that scheme, that played in it before. So that's not surprising to me, the success that they're ultimately having this year, and it's looking like it's set up for them to get the three-peat. It's been done before, but
Fuck that.
brothers weren't playing on the field. So
Fuck that.
I'm gonna just say that I think if they get the three-peat, I'm gonna consider it. I think a lot of people are gonna consider it the first three-peat in NFL history. I ain't gonna reveal my pick yet, but I don't really want that to happen. I'll put it like that. And so, yeah, good game though. And like I said, we're gonna have Super Bowl coverage. Y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video for sure. As we gonna have that throughout the week.
Real quick, while we on football, what's up with these freaky ass motherfuckers, bro?
I really don't know if I want to say what I want to say. I don't want to end up in YouTube jail. I believe, man, you could pay for a happy ending. I could believe you could pay. I don't know the situation. Maybe folks was being extra freaky, but I also know that them contracts are public knowledge. So people know when you got that bread and people know that it's been done before. Now, I don't know if that's the situation here, but when my mind starts to drift there. I think it's some got to do. I'm a black man, and I've seen so many times where people have been messed over in situations and things of that nature. People ruining careers. I think the people that when they get found innocent now, I believe you should press charges against the accuser because you messed up a person's career and life when you do stuff like that. Not to say that's what's happening in this situation, but hopefully that's not the situation. That's my politically correct judgment on that. What about yourself? If you want to chop it up about it?
I mean, bro, I don't know, bro. We finna have to make an NFL all freaky team at this point. Cause it's and bro, they call that man Justin Tugger, bro.
Tugger,
Yeah,
that's funny as fuck.
and it's just, bro, like it explains why he had a down season.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Hey,
bro,
you
and
know
then
what stress can cause you to miss the damn field goals and extra points, man. So maybe it won't happen. Maybe bro was just at home with his wife and he wasn't getting everything that he need. Maybe so. Ultimately, bro going to the Hall of Fame. I know that much. But I did get a funny picture that I'm gonna post on the 32 in the social. We gonna post on 32 in the social about that whole situation. So it's funny that you bring that up. To be honest,
there's already some on TikTok, like the
yeah,
3012 on TikTok.
yeah,
Dude, just freaky, man. If this is true, bro, that's what Deshaun Watson and him both in the AFC North or something.
yeah.
Hey, bro.
Hey, y'all remember it's innocent until proven guilty though. Even though public perception is guilty until proven innocent, in the court of law, it's innocent until proven guilty. And I don't know if these are civil or criminal suits as well. If they're civil, then y'all kind of already got my thoughts on what's going on here. But that's kind of weird that it's like the same situations. Y'all gotta be careful, bro. Sometimes y'all might have to hit them with the NDA at this point. I ain't gonna lie. Like you might have to hit them with the NDA. But moving on, we gonna talk about our final segments. The Eastern and Western All-Star teams just got picked, at least the starters and the reserves. Before we get into that, we're gonna pick our own teams, by the way, and we'll let y'all judge about how y'all feel about the teams and who would be y'all team starters and reserve. But I would want my guy Chalil. He gonna explain a little bit about this new format that the NBA has instituted for the All-Star game.
Are we? Did they institute it? Like, is it gonna be happening?
I
Like,
believe so.
it's like what the three teams, and then
Correct.
I just don't know how that's gonna work because they only pick five. They only pick 10 starters,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to split them between the three teams.
So, but we'll do our research on it. Get back to y'all on that. I do believe that's the format though. But again, this is a new thing.
Yeah,
And so they're going to have to do some more explaining about itself. But I will include an explanation of it in the description to get back to y'all on that in particular. But without further ado, we'll talk and chop it up about our teams that we pick. I'll let you coordinate. How you feel? How you going to go about it?
good. I'm just trying to edit this so I can take off whoever gets picked. But no, you want to just get everything done first. I think got snubbed and stuff. Or you think got snubbed?
Yeah, we'll just pick the teams.
Okay, for sure. So how it's gonna work is There's 24 players. There is no we need to pick our starters or anything first.
Your audio went out a little bit.
24 players is better. We're just gonna take turns picking. You'll go first. We're only gonna pick 8 players each. So that kind of leaves a little variety for us to choose from. We don't have to pick starters or anything first. It's just our best 8 that we want for our team. And it can be from either side. You can have everybody you want from the West. You can have everybody on the East. Mix it up, whatever you want to do. So,
For sure,
without
yeah.
further ado, we can get started. You go ahead and make your first pick.
For sure. I'm always pretty good at this, back when I used to ball, building a squad at least. I ain't gonna say I always, but I turned into a better GM when niggas start having kids and shit like that. So I'm gonna say my first pick, man, certain people probably say this nostalgia based. I really don't give a damn. To me, it's the GOAT, greatest player of all time. I gotta go with King James, LeBron James.
My first pick, best player in the league, averaging a triple double right now. He's unstoppable in all aspects of the game. Offensively, one of the highest IQs in the game. Going with Nikola Jokic.
For sure, I fuck with that. Nikola Jokic.
Yes, sir.
Definitely the best player in the league, man. Well, my second pick, I think he's having a great season. Maybe he's right up there. I think with voter fatigue, he might actually get it this year, to be honest with you. MVP pick at the guard position, I'm going to go with SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, I think he's having a terrific season. Just dropped 50 points for the second time this week in a loss against the Warriors. I think he's really coming to his own. And I think that team, obviously, number one seed in the West, if not the NBA. They got a lot of noise to still make, but I think he's been making noise for the past 3-4 years now, and it's time I give him the proper respect he deserves. I'm gonna go with SGA.
My next one, I'm looking for a team, that's going to be stout on defense and offense. I feel like Jokic can really spread the floor out for him and get him into better positions as well. I'm gonna go with Giannis Antetokounmpo from the
That's
Bucks.
Antetokounmpo.
Feel like that's a gang rebounding duo right there at the center power forward positions.
I respect that. I respect that. Like I said, I think LeBron the GOAT. I think the NBA has already picked their next face of the league at this point, and I think it's deserving at this point. I said in our earlier podcast, I think he would be up for MVP this year. Not quite there, but I still think he's probably approaching top 10 status in the NBA. I'm going with the young buck, Victor Wembanyama.
Okay. Next, I'm gonna go with a guy that seems to fit into every team he's ever played at. One of the best scorers in the league. Still putting up prolific numbers, prolific scoring numbers. Can rebound the ball, can dish the ball out. Even after that big Achilles, was it the Achilles injury he had in the finals? Just to come back off of that and still play at an elite level, I'm gonna go with Kevin Durant.
For sure. For sure. Another legend of the game, 4 rings, the babyface assassin, cook it up. These guys seem like they love playing against each other and they love playing on the same team. We saw their domination in the Olympics this summer. The greatest shooter of all time. I'm gonna go with the boy Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
Yes, sir. Now I'm gonna go with he's my favorite player right now. Honestly, my favorite player in the league. Finally learning how to play out of double teams, having one of the best 3-point shooting years of his career. I think he leads the league in 3-point makes. Definitely going to be the face of the league once these older guys head out. And just savage. He a dog. There's no punking him or anything on the court. I'm going to go with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I love that pick. Like I said, I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, so Ant is the guy. Honestly, I didn't get him on here, but I thought about taking him number 2. Ant's been incredible this year. I think everybody knows he has a bright future ahead of him. He has a bright present as well. Gold medalist just over the summer. The Timberwolves, we're on shaky grounds right now, but we got our number 1. Now we need to build around him. If the Heat willing to take Julius Randle off our hands, we'll appreciate it for sure. Well, my final pick for my starters, at least, I'm gonna go with. I need some size, in my opinion. I'm gonna go with a guy that we've been posting about on the channel. I think twice this week. I think it's ridiculous. Him nor Tim Duncan have a DPOY at this point, and he's been elite on the offensive end, and he's been durable the past 2 years, even though he's out with I believe, a groin strain right now. The Lakers connection, the face of the franchise, Anthony Davis, and I like Anthony Davis on that spot right there. So who you got out of your three reserves? You ain't got to name all three. We can go back and forth, but I
Yeah.
guess for your first reserve
Well, no, this is my last.
starter
Yeah, this is my last starter.
for sure.
So I'm gonna go with a first-time All-Star, big guard. Improved his game all around. One of the best passers in the league right now. I'm playing for the Detroit Pistons. I'm gonna go with Cade Cunningham.
Sure,
He can do everything at this point in his career. Well, like I said, he facilitates the ball with ease. He can go get you a bucket. He can rebound. He does everything.
for sure. I feel that. I respect that. I'm gonna go with an NBA champion. I'm gonna go with an NBA champion. I think he's one of the best, hardest one-on-one covers in the league. Obviously inspired by the great Kobe Bryant, who's it's been 5 years that just passed a couple of days ago, and he talked about his relationship with Kobe and everything that's been fueling him. Been to 2 NBA finals. Jason Tatum. I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum right here for my first reserve role,
Okay.
which is
Me,
greatest six man of all time.
I'm gonna go for my first reserve coming off the bench. New York Nick himself. He's having a decent season. He's led the Knicks the past couple of seasons. My guy, one of the best little scoring guards in the league. No matter what, dude always finds a way to get buckets on you. He emerged. He stayed at the top. I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson.
Sure.
A very crafty scorer.
Jalen Brunson, I love that. I'm gonna go with my guy who just signed the extension, who got off to an incredible start this year with his team. The Cavs have been dominant this year. Y'all go watch that video of him cooking Gilly the Kid. I wouldn't say it gives you a picture into the difference between a pro and a Joe, because Gilly on a regular is a good ball player. But this is an NBA All-Star, All-NBA type player. It's supposed to look effortless. I'm going my boy Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs right here.
Let's see who we got here. I'm gonna go with another little young guy, first time All Star, I believe. He can stretch the floor as a big. He rebounds, can facilitate the ball, coming into his own. And especially on a stacked Cavs team, he's one of those players that they can rely on to do whatever they need to do. I'm gonna go with Evan Mobley.
I love that pick right there. Love that pick right there.
And I think we on our final picks right here.
Yeah, I'm stuck between three players. Give me 1 second.
Nope, we good.
This is my guy. I like what I've seen for him. I did pick the Knicks to win the finals. I love what he's been doing since he came into the league, former Minnesota Timberwolves. I wouldn't agree with him when he say the best three-point shooting big of all time. But I'm going to go with my boy Karl Anthony Towns in this spot for my last reserve here from the New York Knicks. My boy Cat. Y'all get on my voice too. Y'all be saying freaky or something like that. Chill. Soft smoking.
My final reserve pick, shooting, or his 3-point percentage has been the best of his career, shooting the three ball really well. Literally just went off yesterday, helping bring that Pacer team back into relevance. One of the best mismatch scorers. He knows how to score off of a mismatch. He can facilitate, he can rebound, just knows how to make the right plays, playmaking, all that stuff. Pascal Siakam. It's a spicy piece. Yeah, that's they be calling that man. Yeah. I'll just name first five is gonna be starters. Last three reserves, just gonna go back through everything. Nikola Jokic, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Cade Cunningham as my starters. Got Jalen Brunson coming off the bench, Evan Mobley coming off the bench, and Pascal Siakam coming off the bench.
Yeah, great versatility on that team right there. A lot of positionless players and a lot of guys that know how to play the game the right way. Obviously, all of these dudes is all-stars and all NBA level players. My team was Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, and Anthony Davis. Not sure what AD you want to play. I know AD want to play the four, but then I had Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, I like. Obviously, there's nothing to like about either one of these teams. You could put on a blindfold and get a NBA champion out of these players we picked. But y'all get in the comments. Let us know how y'all would fill out y'all teams. My guy about to discuss a little bit about who we think was potentially snubbed off this list. But let us know y'all list and what y'all think about the list that we have here going forward before the NBA All-Star Game. And like I said, I will have information about the new format of the All-Star Game in the description for anybody that's interested in finding out about that for sure. So how do you feel like there was any potential snubs from the All-Star team?
Hell yeah. I'm about to bring up some stats right now. I don't know how he ain't an all-star. I don't know what the
I feel
hell
like I
he
know who
was
you're
doing.
going to say. I feel like I know you're going to say.
We're literally talking about him. I don't know how the hell it happened. Dude, DeMontis Sabonis.
Okay, not who I thought. Well, okay, for sure.
Like, I'm going to say somebody else. It might be. But DeMontis Sabonis, averaging 21 points a game, which is 34th in the league. First in rebounds at 15 a game.
Damn.
And assists at 7 a game. Eighth at 61% field goal percentage. Kings are, I think as of right now, they're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really know what's going on with that. I think he could have definitely taken Jaren Jackson's spot. Nothing against Jaren Jackson, but
And
I just
Jalen Williams, respectfully.
yeah, Jalen Williams too. But if I'm just trying to go
Yeah.
forward for forward, I think it would have to. Jaren Jackson's averaging 24 points or 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Besides the points, Sabonis has better stats and everything. I think Sabonis means more to his team in general. So I really just don't get that right there, how Sabonis got snubbed. And then, which is pretty obvious, this one, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
He's number one in fan vote, probably one of the most exciting players in the league to watch. Why wouldn't the NBA want him in the All-Star game? Even if he's hurt and he can't, the All-Star game is what, 3-4 weeks away?
Yeah.
So even if he's hurt now, I just don't get it. Hopefully, maybe he can get in as a reserve if somebody backs out or if there's an injury. But him or Trae Young as well. Trae Young's been having a good
Yeah.
season, great season. He started off slow. Maybe that's what it could have been, but he's still one of the best passers in the league. Has some of the most range in the league. He plays the villain anywhere he plays.
Yeah.
You either love him or hate him, but either way, you have to respect him type thing. But
Yeah.
my big two for sure are Sabonis and LaMelo.
Yeah, I think it's possibly at least LaMelo because he was hurt for a little while this season, and maybe that got something to do with it. But with all due respect, to me, there's no way LaMelo is not in over Dame Lillard. Dame been having a decent season. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way he's having a LaMelo Ball type season.
Even
And
Darius Garland, if we being real,
yeah, I
Darius
just went
Garland
with
having probably
yeah, yeah. Some question marks, but at the end of the day, I think LaMelo deserved to be here. I think LaMelo is a guy that's carrying a lot for the young crowd as well too. For the young people, he's a YouTube star. He's been a star since he was probably since a super kid, since his brother, been doing this thing. His brothers have been doing their things. He's been known for doing his own thing. I think one time in high school, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, LaMelo dropped 92 points in the game. So he been doing his thing since Jit
he's a
days.
show.
So
He's a showman.
yeah. So it would have been dope to see him in the All Star game. Probably would have took 30 shots, but it would have been dope to see him in the All Star game. Hopefully, probably it's too late at this point, but we get to see him in some capacity. If not, he keep balling throughout this season. The Charlotte Hornets are having a better season. Obviously, they just gave up Nick Richards, who's dominating in Phoenix, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, y'all let us know if y'all feel like there were any snubs, any conference championship game recaps, y'all Super Bowl picks. y'all just get in tune and tap in. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, rock with the content. Go watch our previous videos for how we got here. A lot of great analysis on the season. How y'all feel about the recent coaching changes, things of that nature. I like what I'm seeing from Aaron Glenn so far. The Senior Bowl is going on right now in college football. Who have been y'all standouts and things of that nature. And we ball. We keep moving forward. Anything you got to say, my guy?
For some of y'all people in the comments, that's probably gonna try to talk about records when it comes to the All-Star game. Records don't matter. If I'm being real,
All right.
I think that also. I think, yeah, bro. Records don't matter, bro. It's who the fans want to see in the game. It's who's gonna bring in the most money. And I think having a bruiser like Sabonis in there, that this man got bodies. This man pushes people out the way. This man makes plays. You got LaMelo Ball shooting fadeaway one-legged threes.
Yeah.
Throwing under the leg alleys, throwing balls to himself. Pause. All this and that, and I just don't get how he's not an all-star, especially having the year he's having.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like,
I
it's
ain't even
not,
know Sabonis stats was like that for real.
and
To
it's
be
not
honest
like
with
it's not like I'm saying he deserves to be MVP
you. You're right.
because that's when records and stuff matter. But as far as all-stars, I think it's just best players
Correct.
from around the league that's going to put on a show, try to make it competitive, stuff like that. Because the All-Star game has been sucking the past few years.
This might be super controversial, but it is what it is. I think LaMelo has probably a better case of being an All-Star game over Steph Curry, to be honest with you. To be honest, and he's starting for me. I rock with Steph, but if I'm just going number for numbers, and of course Steph is the engine that drives the Warriors still, they have been having an incredible season. They just got a big win over the Thunder, but they haven't had a world beater type season. So, in my personal opinion, it's damn near egregious that LaMelo isn't in the All-Star game, to be quite honest. But for sure, it's been a good podcast. Y'all go subscribe to the channel. We'll get up with y'all.